Okay, so if you were listening to Catherine talk, she was super excited about the industrial metaverse. And I'm going to do a talk here about what it is, what to understand it is, and not to be too freaked out about it. It's a buzzword. We like buzzwords. I've been an evangelist for technology for years, so I like to navigate around these words. But it's also a reality. It's something that is happening. It's not just a buzzword. And I want to talk about the technology that exists, that we all are working on, that will make that story a reality, right? So you can find me online, Olivier Bloch. My background, for those who don't know me, I've been in the embedded business for some time, 25 years now. First as an embedded real-time developer, and then I joined Microsoft 17 years ago to evangelize Windows Embedded. And I've been doing that for some years with some people around here. I then joined the Microsoft Open Technologies subsidiary to work on open source and open standards. I really opened my eyes on the importance of collaborating on standards in all industries. And I'm actually bringing that up in the talk today. And I spent the last 7 years with the Azure IoT team building IoT services to connect the embedded devices that I was very familiar with and educating engineers within Microsoft about what embedded is about, what IoT is about, right? So that's me. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Twitter. This presentation has been made by myself with the contribution of ChatGPT and Bing Chat, because why not, right? So the industrial metaverse, when asking Bing image creator to generate a visualization of what the industrial metaverse is about, is pretty dark. So these are the nice images that have been generated by the Bing image creator that is powered by DALL-E. The prompt I used for that one was, give me a representation, a visualization of what the industrial metaverse is about, showing an operator interacting with some industrial equipment. And these are the images it came out with. Something which is about, well, these factors are pretty dark in general. That's one of my first reactions. It's all about augmented reality, interacting with this 3D visualizations and so on. It's going to be also interesting. It doesn't work. I can grab the laptop and press if you want. Oh, actually, they came up. Okay. So it's also about, as per DALL-E and Bing Chat, a bright future for physical therapists, for neck, for operators. Will be wearing these very heavy helmets. And the last one actually is even more scary because the guy is not even using an augmented reality helmet to interact with virtual reality or augmented reality, but his hands are augmented. And that's pretty scary. I mean, that's the vision that today an AI is giving based on the data we're seeing, articles and so on out there about what the industrial metaverse is about. And my point today is to demonstrate that this is not really it. Yeah, it's the one on the right, right? Oh, yeah, it's coming. Okay. So what I did is ask another expert, ChatGPT, what is the metaverse to start with, right? Industrial metaverse is part of the metaverse. What is the metaverse? And it came up with an interesting explanation of what the metaverse is. First, it's hypothetical. It's the hypothetical future of the internet. And, that means it's not here yet. And I kind of agree with that. The second aspect is the notion of immersing into a virtual world. And last one is about the ability for users to engage and interact with each other and with digital experiences in that immersed world, in real time, preferably. And it's expected to be that ecosystem that will allow the new forms of social, economic, creative interactions, right? That's what the metaverse is about. I kind of like that definition. But there are different metaverses. So the one that you see in the videos from Meta and others, virtual reality and your virtual meetings and so on, with avatars that don't have legs, pretty weird, and that are gimmicky and whatnot. I've seen some people at Microsoft already using their avatars to attend meetings, and everyone is like, okay, that's weird. So this is what we perceive the metaverse is about, and we, as people from the IoT embedded concrete world, we're seeing that as a gimmick and not as something really real and realistic. But I want to point to this definition of different types of metaverse. The consumer metaverse that gamers are interested in is about that social interaction. It's about this virtual world for gaming, for interacting with friends and others. The entertainment or events world is going to be a very interesting one as well. Maybe attending a concert from home with the immersive experience is going to be something that people will pay for. I'm pretty sure that will work. Enterprise metaverse is about collaboration. It's about productivity, innovation, being able to put together, and we actually had an example of that with a presentation from someone back in Europe to you here in person. And that's becoming something that is more and more intuitive and more, okay in our world. And that's great. That's perfect. But did you see any 3D whatever? No, you don't need that. You don't need the augmented reality to talk about metaverse. And that's one of the points I want to make during this presentation, and I hope you will take away at the end. The industrial metaverse, if you look at the number of scenarios it addresses, it's quite a lot. I originally had a slide with numbers, hey, that many $1 billion and that one, that many here. The industrial metaverse is representing a big chunk of that metaverse story, like bigger than the consumer and the enterprise metaverse, as per all the analysts out there. So definitely something to be considered. So back to my expert, ChatGPT. I asked him, or them, what about the industrial metaverse? What is the industrial metaverse? And the definition it came up with is pretty good. I want to highlight some of that, because you can read all of it, but no, yes, okay. The interesting part of the industrial metaverse is about the creation of the virtual replicas of a physical environment. How do you represent a physical, actual environment through sensors and actuators in a digital world where people can interact with them, can read the information, and integrate all of that with that experience that will allow to improve productivity, safety, efficiency. The scenarios are, remote monitoring, remote control, simulation. Super interesting. You can simulate scenarios without risking to damage, $1 million equipments, and put to stress virtual equipment versus real one, and extracting data that is as close as possible than the one you would extract from the actual physical environment, without risking killing your employees as well. The other one is about increasing efficiency, reducing costs, improving safety, sustainability. These are all very good points of what the industrial metaverse will achieve. There's a few things that I think ChatGPT missed, and I could have gone on, with the questioning and interrogation. To me, the industrial metaverse is a lot about the intersection of OT and IT. It's something that we started talking about a couple of years ago, to justify the existence of IoT platforms and scenarios, explaining to the world of business and IT that it's not about this fancy set of Raspberry Pis or devices that we want to force into your network to augment the risk of being hacked. It's about bringing the world of operations into your world of business. At the end of the day, all these IoT technologies, all the connectivity, all the edge compute is about making more business more efficiently, right? And so we need to have an integration of the world of OT into the world of IT at the end of the day, which includes business, enterprise, cloud apps, and so on. It's built, the industrial metaverse is already started to be built around cloud and edge together, right? It's not one or the other. Industrial metaverse is not just about virtual reality, 3D environment into the network. It's really about the hardware, the edge, and the IT part of things. So The other thing is it's all about data. There's nothing new here. It's about extracting the right set of data, extracting the insights with the right set of analytics, and then make decisions. One thing that ChatGPT came up in their definition is to me backwards. It says that the industrial metaverse will facilitate the creation of these digital twins, like virtual replicas of your physical environment. To me, it's the other way around. Digital twins is one of the technologies that build the industrial metaverse. They are an essential part because they will allow to make sense of data that is coming from a diverse set of devices and sources, and allow developers and enterprises and even non-developers to access that data in an intuitive and useful way. And so digital twins are very important to the industrial metaverse. So this is about the definition. Now the next question is, how will that become a reality? You know, what's needed? And ChatGPT came with a pretty decent answer once again. I'll let you play around with ChatGPT and get your own answers, but interoperability is one of the topics that came up as, we need to find all together, and define the right set of standards, the right set of protocols that will allow to get all that data together and make sense of it. The data collection and management is a challenge. It's not easy. We've been at it for a long time. Connecting devices is not new, but it's hard. Security, like access to networks, cost, and so on. Security definitely is top of mind as well as an issue or something that needs to be sorted out for the industrial metaverse to happen. And collaboration around standards, but also in terms of integration. We have experts around here about connecting devices, about developing such type of devices for such type of industries, solving very specific problems. The industrial metaverse is about putting all of that together, working together to make it happen. There's not going to be one player out there that will provide an end-to-end solution, and I know for a fact, after 17 years at Microsoft, some are trying to. It does not work. Collaboration is important. We need to make sure that we have that. So these are the requirements for making the industrial metaverse a reality. What are the technologies that will allow that to happen? And I will list loosely defined technologies that will address some, if not all of these points, right? And bear with me, definition for these technologies are pretty loose, right? So embedded is about embedded hardware, no need to define for you, and what kind of problems it addresses. On top of that, you add the IoT technology that connect these devices, that allow to manage them remotely and extract the data and insights that you need for your business applications. On top of that, you have edge compute, where you can start distributing your intelligence, putting filtering, accessing to even more insights from the data generated by your devices. AI, whether in the cloud or at the edge, or a combination, exists, right? Like actually half of the presentation is about AI. Digital twins, platforms exist out there, and we have some people around here who develop their own digital twins that allow to model data coming from physical environment and other sources, propose graphs that allow accessing these different twins based on these models and the relationships between them in a very intuitive, fast, and easy way, right? So digital twins are an essential part of making all of that happen. Low-code and cloud-native business apps integration. Once again, it's all about data, making sense, and optimizing your processes, your products, or whatnot, right? It's all about that. So if you're not able to integrate seamlessly into business applications, not just to provide, an Excel spreadsheet that says, hey, everything went well in my factory floor for the last whatever. No, you need to give tools to the people driving the business for them to be able to get the insights they need. Simple query to access, what happened in my factory floor 2 days ago because some customers through my CRM reported an anomaly or defect on a product of that batch. I need to be able to go back into the process that made that defect happen to fix the machine, to fix the process or whatnot, right? And so it's going to be someone in front of a freaking Excel spreadsheet trying to figure that out. it will soon be someone else that is able to do that with very simple queries, accessing data through a digital twin that is fed through time series, fed through IoT solutions, etc. So these are an essential part of making the industrial metaverse a reality. And now all the way down there, AR, VR, like spatial computing, Web3, to me it's just one of the tiny pieces that builds the industrial metaverse, right? The metaverse that is always perceived as this, hey, put your goggles on and you're in that virtual environment or virtual factory or whatnot. To me, it's just a tiny, tiny piece of the overall story. It won't happen without all the rest. And last but not least, the ecosystem itself. You, us, everyone, put all these bits and pieces together, make them interoperate, make them rely on the same standards, agree on these standards, is what's necessary to make it happen. And so these are the hurdles and risks, right, in general. And this is when the logic was inverted, like ChatGPT asked me what my recommendations are, because it's good at extracting information from existing stuff. It will become good at giving recommendations. So I'm pretty sure it could have come up with this kind of things. But let's put some human in there. My own recommendation after 25 years experience at trying to make this happen end-to-end, from embedded devices all the way up to the cloud and the business apps. The first one is to start small. Don't try and solve it all. Don't try and come with the fanciest of things. Sometimes you don't need to connect that freaking device to the cloud to make something happen. Maybe you just need to have a reading of the average temperature on that thermostat that a human will read, instead of having temperature sent every second up to a cloud service for a huge amount of money for nothing. Start small, think about the problem, fix the problem, address it. Address it for today as well. There are so many solutions existing to address today's problems that you don't need to solve tomorrow's problem already. Industry standards, again and again. I think my 4 years at Microsoft OpenTech, paving the way for Microsoft to be able to do open source, to work with open standards, pretty successfully, I would dare to say, told me that you cannot reinvent the wheel. It's useless trying to define your own standard. Someone smarter than you already thought about it, right? And if no one did, then you need to think about the problem with others, because they have a different perspective, a different angle that will make a solution even richer and become a standard way faster. Think standards first before reinventing the wheel. Something exists out there. In the same vein, don't try to reinvent the wheel by using existing bits and pieces. It's all about composing solutions more and more, right? You need to have a level of integration to a business application. Don't try and create your own Excel generator into Power BI or Grafana, whatever. That exists. Just go shop for it. Work with people who created that to integrate even better and add value. Because you're not adding value by redeveloping someone else's solution, trying to make it better. You know, collaborate with these people to make their solution better and fit your needs and your customers' needs. Security, privacy, I will not even spend a second on that. So I think we all agree on the fact that this has to be something that is not an afterthought. It has to be immediate, like that's the first thing you think about. Security, privacy of the data. And collaboration, that's the last one again and again. Collaboration, integration, standards, working together, that's my main recommendation at the end of the day. So that's all I had to say. Hopefully the industrial metaverse is less scary. And next time you'll want to look at ChatGPT to build your own presentations. That's pretty fun. It gives you very interesting information about things you think you already know. And it presents it in a way that is very readable for everyone. And so I really recommend doing that. If you have any questions for me, I'll be around. Thanks for your attention, and let's go build that industrial metaverse together. Thank you.